Finally, Y Corp is looking to expand its property appropriation division, and you fit the profile. Barely. If you complete our test assignment, you'll be given a position with one of our corporate grab teams, as the indents call them. I detest the term, but it does describe the work we do. We seek out contested property and transfer ownership of it to Y Corp. Sometimes a competing team is after the same property, then we flatline them. It can be quite satisfying. There are more perks. As a Y Corp CGT operative, you'll have access. But first, you have to complete this assignment. We want the complete Ascent Group operations history. It is stored in one of their data vaults. You must locate the correct vault, re-imprint the Vault SI, and upload the desired data to our... Complete this assignment, and you'll get a... Your success will depend on your brawn trumping your inferior sapiens brain. We expect this will be a considerable challenge. Our comms records show you've already collaborated with that notorious ice fiend Knockhead. We suggest enlisting his aid again. Questions? When a corporation defaults on Velez, there is no regulatory body governing its demise. All property belonging to that corporation, we won't burden you with the technicalities, but in short, the process involves imprinting the property governing SR, like the other multi-corps. Acquiring the Ascent Group also rented vault space to other. Expect a slew of auto-defenses operating at maximum lethality. For the time being, Y Corp intends to keep a low profile, so you will have to gain access on your own. Yes, SI imprinting is an extremely delicate procedure. We require you to jack into Y Corp has certain long... You'll be a free being. Very well.
Flight Knockhead. Hearing of clean code. Crisp and immediate. Like death. Destination marked.
You got it.
Tower flooding has never been determined. Suspects range from an intoxicated indent to a faulty flow valve to a high-level corruption cover-up.
Beijing Ukraine nie saata atet jamne aflo imie masain ni katut ni elbaf salar tirfufer.
Tukhuzni mielok minito nie hardago djupto vari nagra.
Rein, alta aku. Regina, ni akib ni.
Victor Svalbard Vigel von Spit.
Nie, sag.
Das Split von die Sempre. Gunum Deck.
Wouldn't yet more than that. I see.
You again. What does Poon want now? Oh, hang on. Who the fuck is Y Corp? They want you to appropriate an Ascent group data vault. I don't do appropriations, pal. I'm pretty damn good, but that aside would nerf fry my ass before I even got past the outer ice layer. They have their own AGI? I'm not sure you understand, pal. Only the largest multi-courts have their own AGIs, and you tell me your imp is fucking bonded with one? Let me see. Wow. That's some beautiful code. There's a cold elegance to AGI where the us orgs can only dream of achieving, but then I don't get what you need me for. Their AGI can crack open a vault like a ponto nut. Why don't you have it do that in the imprinting? Both. Y Corp have their own AGI, and yet they want to keep a low profile? Well, whatever. I can get you in all right, but seeing as this is a corporate job, I won't do it pro bono. Again, I gotta admit, I'm real curious about what's going on here. Might be worth helping out just to get some insight, and maybe even link to that AGI at some point. Okay. Let's just say you'll owe me for this one. I provide my comm tag on your imp so we can stay in touch. Best get cracking, my friend. I'm gonna do a deep trawl for anything Y Corp related in the meantime. I wanna know who we're dealing with.
You're not just...
Minityöt von Spirata.
Hey, we go.
I can get the front door open for you, no problem, but the security system is more entangled than a Carlin nerve bundle. You're gonna have to cut through the ice and disable the whole thing locally. Or blow it up, I guess. Yeah, that would work too.
Being in the presence of such incalculable amounts of data is humbling. I would never want to be the algorithm having to sort through this deluge of information.
I've located the right data cluster, but not the exact vault. Again, you're gonna have to do that locally. Shouldn't be a problem with all that fancy if software you got now. I'll keep an eye on this from here.
The Ascent presence complicates the situation, but we still want you to proceed. Terminate all opposition with extreme prejudice. We will look into automatic access. fucks get their hands on a Class 3 emitter? Someone must be using it for their own ends. Proceed to the vault.
Vault index for operations data. The operations data vault identified. I am unlocking the vault access hatch now. Such are my powers.
Now appropriate the vault itself. Jack into the vault SI, and our AGI will do the rest through your imp.
Direct link established. AGI bond verified. Initiate improved procedure.
Okay, here. I see other CGTs moving in on your position. The bastards are just cruising through now that we cleared the way. Better watch your six now.
Indent, if you lose that vault, I expect you to self-terminate on the spot and spare me the effort. Clear?
180403-4.
Excellent. We now own the vault. That should give us full access to the records. Now upload the full data package to the Y Corp D6.
Accessing vault data.
That data packet is going to be crazy large, buddy, even with compression. Your imp doesn't have enough bandwidth for a remote transfer. I'll set up access to the...
While we get the assistance knobhead, you should be aware that we are monitoring your every action. Don't get any ideas.
Far be it from me to act on any ideas where there's an foreign involved. Just help it out, my pal, as promised.
Good.
Interfacing with cluster NFC.
Hang on while I cut through the ice so that your Y-Corp friend... There, done.
We have access. Downloading the package now. The operations data has significant gaps, but our AGI was able to cross-reference it with the information we already had, and the findings are interesting. Our board will want to discuss them before deciding how to proceed. In the meantime, you passed the test. We reluctantly welcome you to our Property Appropriation Division. Be aware that you'll be operating in a whole different league going forward. This is a high-risk, high-reward profession, and we expect you to perform at the highest possible standard at all times. We have updated your imp with your new rating as a CG.
Incoming SSM request from Knothead.
Good. I set up this channel to bypass the SAGI bonds, so that's not a foreign can't listen in. See, I got a pilfering algorithm piggybacking on the transfer so that I can clone the data. Just a little something I've been working on for a while now. Thing is, she ain't telling you half of it. There's clues in there as to why the Ascent group went under. Looks like they were pouring Ukraines into some secret mega project enough to buy a fucking planet. A lot of key personnel were being reassigned to that same project, and they also paid Onyx Void plenty of Ukraines for who knows what. Why the hell would Ascent Group do that? What were they working on, and why is Y-Corp so interested? AG were also planning a hostile takeover of Malware's Go, but something went seriously wrong somewhere, and the Ascent Group AGI shut down. The whole corp went belly up, and here we are. Figured you should know, seeing as it's your ass on the line. Talk soon!
Operative. We studied the operations history data you sent, and it hints at some sort of ongoing interstellar transportation arrangement between the Ascent group and Onyx Void. We want to understand the details of that arrangement. Who or what were Ovi and Green Monteveles on the Ascent group's behalf? We know that Ovi is very protective of all shipment information. It is being kept in a single protected desync somewhere. Your next assignment is to locate that desync and extract the info we want. Should be straightforward enough, even for a sapien such as yourself. As White Corp can't afford to officially antagonize Onyx Void at this time, you'll be operating on your own again. Kira out.
Suggest querying the Onyx Void subnet at their hangout at the node. Destination set.
Dead relatives.
Indent, collateral damage should be avoided. We can keep you off the bounty boards, but this could raise unwanted flags. confrontation might result in your termination, Flash. While interesting, it would go against my programming to facilitate that. I suggest creating a diversion to allow for covert entry. Scanning surroundings. Scan complete. Advertisement loop B52D can be set to critically interfere with the Onyx Void facility. If you can get direct access to the code tree, I can execute a nav proxy reroute.
I see.
Any bartender can... Did he put up a fight? I don't really care. Here he is.